What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. So the Blazers get their fourth consecutive victory, 113-106 at the Moda Center against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, due to me watching the Charlo Harrison fight, which Charlo did his thing tonight, so shouts out to Charlo and Harrison, because they both put on an excellent performance. One of the better fights that I've seen this year, for sure. So shouts out to both of them. But I didn't end up watching the first quarter, and I started watching around midway through the second quarter in this game. But from what I could see and what the stats were saying, it was pretty much looking like the Blazers were controlling the game from the time that I didn't watch. And it was just one of those hard-fought games that the Blazers ended up winning just because, they're at a higher level than the Minnesota Timberwolves are currently. Even though I think even with Karl Anthony Towns, it would have still been a tough game for the Wolves to win. But Wiggins did have a big night tonight. He led all scorers with 33 points, shot an efficient 13 of 24 from the field. He goes 4 of 6 from 3. He had 6 rebounds, an assist, 5 turnovers, and 3 blocks. So he was balling. Shabazz Napier, former Blazer and UConn champion, he ended up with 18 points on 7 of 15 from the field. He goes 4 of 10 from 3. He had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, and 3 steals. So he was doing a little bit of everything tonight. And then Jeff Teague off the bench, he played very well, especially in that second half, to keep them in this game in that fourth quarter. But he went for 18 points on 6 of 9 from the field, goes 2 of 2 from 3, had 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 turnovers, and a block. And his little floater game where over Hassan Whiteside, who Whiteside had excellent looks at trying to block those shots, but Teague was just a little bit more crafty in getting those baskets over, those floaters over Whiteside, and played really, really well off the bench. Gorgie Dang finished up with 15 points, but he shot terribly. He went 3 of 12 from the field, made all of his baskets from 3. He made 3 of those, had 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, and a block. And most of his points, he had 6 points from the free throw line. No one else on the Wolves scored more than 5 points. And there was a nasty little blooper that Robert Covington had where he got a steal and he was out on the fast break, and he was going up for the flush, and he ended up hitting the basketball off his knee for a turnover. And that was just one of the type of plays that the Wolves had, especially later in this game, that pretty much gave the Blazers the win, And the Blazers ended up converting those turnovers into points and staying up pretty much the entire way. But they did have 33 bench points tonight for the Wolves. But Blazers, like I was saying, they took care of the ball very well in the first half, only committing 3 turnovers, but came out terrible in that third quarter, and they had like 7 turnovers in like the span of, I'm gonna say, like maybe 4 minutes of action, and it was crazy. But what saved them was the Wolves were turning the ball over as well, so it helped that both teams were coming off a back-to-back, because if they were a little bit more fresh, the Wolves possibly could have won this game, and they wouldn't be on this 10-game losing streak that they're currently on right now. Tolliver got the start tonight, but Skal Labissiere ended up playing 25 minutes and played very well. And I like that little duo since Melo's not playing right now, having Skal and Whiteside playing with each other is a nice little combination. Skal ended up finishing with 11 points on 5 of 9 from the field, goes 1 of 2 from 3, had 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a turnover, and 2 blocks. And it was a block party for the Blazers tonight, man. They ended up with 13 on the night. But Whiteside, he had an excellent game tonight. And our rim protection is much, much better. Whiteside's understanding where to be at a lot more in the system. He's sliding over, getting blocks, blocking people from behind, blocking people that are trying to go up with the weak sauce. But he did end up scoring his 5,000th point in the league. And he finished with 16 points on 6 of 9 from the field. He grabbed 22 rebounds, dished out 2 assists, had 2 turnovers, a steal, and 7 blocks. And he actually leads the NBA with the most 5+ block games with 6, which he was leading, but he put a stamp on it a little bit more tonight. Kent Bazemore, huge tonight, had his best offensive game as a Blazer. He finished up with 19 points on 7 of 12 from the field, goes 2 of 4 from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. And Bazemore, man, is just like, he's got so much energy. I don't know how he can, like, every time, it doesn't matter if he's tired or not, he's always just gonna play hard and run up and down the floor. And there was a lot of times where we kept exchanging turnovers, and Bazemore was just on both ends like a buzzsaw, man. He was just everywhere. And he deserves this type of game offensively because he's been putting in the work, and him, Whiteside, and the other guys that weren't here last year, you could just tell that they were understanding the system a lot better now. They're understanding where they need to be on the defensive end, and they're hitting their shots when they get their opportunities, especially in this 4-game win streak. Both Dame and CJ, they don't really shoot it well, but still get big numbers. CJ ends up finishing with 26 points. He shoots a terrible 8 of 23 from the field, but he does go 5 of 10 from 3. He had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 steals, and a block. So CJ has been stepping up huge on the defensive end. Stepping in those passing lanes tonight, had another block. He's just playing really, really well on the defensive end. And he's very underrated defensively this year. And like I was saying before, like, CJ ain't going nowhere. He's one of the focal points of this team. And I know when the Blazers were looking bad, people are pointing a lot to CJ, where he's doing a lot of shot jacking, which is understandable because a lot of guys weren't producing at the time. So once Dame and CJ got, when they know that these guys are gonna produce, they're gonna get you to rock. CJ had 3 assists tonight. I would love him to have around 4 assists per game, and he was pretty much right there. Dame finished up with 29 points on 10 of 25 from the field, goes 3 of 12 from 3, had 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, a steal, and a block. And he ended up passing Mike Miller for 25th all-time 3-pointers made tonight. And he's right behind Wes Matthews, former Blazer, for 24th. He's only, 3 behind. And he's only 8 behind Jay Rich. Jay Rich made 1,608 3-pointers in his career. So Dame only needs 8 more or 9 more to pass him for 23rd all time. But both Wes and Dame will both pass Jay Rich. So Wes ain't going anywhere anytime soon. So they're going to be battling it out for a while. Like I was saying, Blazers won their 4th consecutive game, and they finished up their 4-game homestand with the Pelicans on Monday night, and then they go up on the road and face the Jazz, which will be our first look at the Jazz this season, who's had a pretty much up and down season like us, but I mean, they've obviously won a few more games than we have. Then after that, we play the Jazz on Thursday night, and then after that we got the Lake Show coming to town on the 28th, and then we got the Suns on the 30th at home to finish up the year. And all 4 of those games are very winnable to be able to put the Blazers back into that where they need to be, and that's above 500, which I do believe Blazers will get all 4 of these games. Definitely winnable. Lake Show, both LBJ and AD are ailing right now, and while we have so many injuries, we've just been playing a lot better as a team, and we ended up having, I want to say, 24 bench points tonight, so the bench is producing better. Scalabrine looked well, and I just like where the Blazers are right now, man, in this win streak, and we're going to win definitely against the Pelicans on Monday night. But this is your boy P Money. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to all my supporters. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, and I am off this.